It's your boy. Wait, no, what do I say? Alright. And we're back. It's your homie, Devyn Zoolander, coming all the way live from my domicile. You're now watching the Devyn Zoolander Show. And I'm here with my main man, Chris Norman from Pinpoint Studio. Tell me how you feel today, bruh.
Man, all good, Range Rover, all wood.
Alright, whatever that means, I feel you. Anyway, we have a piece right here. Another piece. We already talked about Nipsey, but now we're going to talk about this piece right here.
Right.
So, I mean, this guy looks familiar. Who is he again?
Man, that's the guy from Get Out.
Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya. Right.
Hey, shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out to you, brother. Yeah.
Shout out to you, but also shout out to the character that you represented in that movie Get Out. And that's really why he was selected for this piece. At the time, what had happened was the whole George Floyd incident just happened, you know what I mean? So, so the world, the community is reeling about that particular injustice, but then again, we started counting names, you know?
Yeah.
We started realizing the patterns of what's going on out here, and that was the everyday. There were protests erupting, you know, for a good reason in every single city across the nation. So, you know, we kind of all have to pick and choose our ways of talking about that, you know, engaging in that. So for me, it was like, all right, I'm gonna make a piece, but guess what? I'm trying to capture something. You know, the idea of, you know, is it safe? Does it make sense for, you know, black people that are in the background here have all been killed by the police? And the list is so astounding when you see all of the names. It's not even a complete list. You know what I'm saying? That this happens so frequently that it makes you like feel like the guy from Get Out, like, oh man, like I am somehow trapped. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm in a sunken place. I'm literally crying. I can't move. I can't do anything. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I want to point out something right here because I'm really paying attention to detail as you did when you created this. Now I'm seeing like this little line right here representing like the tear, the single tear that comes from his eye.
Right.
So just tell me,
yes, sir.
What was the creative process like to produce this kind of art?
Yep. So, you know, once you get your portrait, like a base portrait, of course, you know, there's no photo of the movie. You
got his hairline too? Alright, well, you got yo.
Like, come on, man. Like, listen. And I forget, this had to be like 8,500 pins, 8,000, 9,000 pins, something like that. This is a 20 by 30, you know. But what I wanted to do was basically get like your basic layer of what he looks like as a character down, and then you just go back and you add in and you change details and stuff like that. Again, this one was regarding police brutality. I went in and added a whole bunch of red. Young people, George Floyd getting scraped up on the ground, dealing with that police officer, and guess what? Can't even make it out. You know, but, so I was like, all right, I want to go in and add all these different elements to the piece. Yes, with the teardrops, you know what I mean? Like, I want to, knowing that this piece and all pieces really that I try to make are to be experienced like in person. So that never would pick up on like a photo or online, that sort of thing. But guess what? If I know somebody really would collect that or see that in person, you would see that there's a, you know, a streak there for the single tear, as opposed to like making it a certain color, you know.
Now, could you just really briefly go into the different colors that you used and what they represent artistically for this piece?
Yeah, so I work with pins that are like different bronze color variations. So there's like rose, gold, you know, there's like a tan one. I like these like little gunmetal black ones. They're black, but it's really like just dark gray, shiny. But yeah, and then there's the matte colors, like your blacks, your reds, your purples, greens, you know what I mean, blues, white. So, you know, working with pins, I like using the bronze tones because I, generally speaking, make imagery of black people. Well, I haven't for this series, so it makes sense, but I want to capture those tones. That's why I use the metallic ones, But also it gives you little nuanced changes in the colors. Like, it doesn't jump as much. You know, just using colors that are, you know, that are contrast hard against each other. But speaking of contrast, that's where you bring in your dark tones, you know what I mean? You gotta bring in your black. That really makes everything pop. None of it would work if they all weren't there, you know what I mean? It would look...
I like it too because I think it represents the complexity of our complexions. Like how even those of us that are like myself, that are kind of like the character, that are really dark skinned, or people like yourself that are on the lighter end of the complexion spectrum, I feel like what it does is it kind of unifies us, because even those of us that are really, really dark, we still have undertones and we still have complexities to our skin that's more than, like when you look at mine or something, you can't look at me because he's actually darker than me. So to be like, oh yeah, like you and him, y'all just the same. It's like, no, it's not like that. Like there are differences, and I think by you using the different colors to represent how brownness is diverse is like really important.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, since it's pins and they're not like pushed all the way into the foam core, they're like elevated a little bit. So when the pins are elevated, you get little shadows, right, underneath, and that kind of deals with the tones and blends the tones together. So the thing about pinpoint art is that, you know, it deals with like how your brain is literally built, right? Like when we see images out in the world, your brain, even if it's like individual pointillism, your brain is making connections.
Yeah.
And it's telling you actually what you see. Oh, it means this. That's super realistic, even though it's just a whole bunch of individual pins.
Right.
Your brain is putting it together so that you can recognize something and feel something. You know what I mean? But that's so I'm trying to deal with the idea of, okay, knowing that your brain is going to make assumptions about what's coming next. Oh, okay, I see where we're going. Oh, there's some red there. I was just thrown off by that. Or maybe it has blue. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just a flare of color. That throws your brain off for a second, and it has to like relearn, and it stops that assumption process there. So I like that idea of just, you know, taking something that's understood, a regular photo of the guy. Now what is it? You know what I mean? How do we feel about it now?
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you once again for bringing your pieces by, for being on this show, man.
Yep.
And I wish you continued success, and I can't wait to, you know, I get my money right to be able to purchase some art from you, because you definitely got the good stuff. And, you know, you can't get this at the swap meet. Like, like, nah, man, you gotta go to the source, man. You gotta have your coins ready. But
yeah, absolutely. With that being said, you gotta go to the source, pinpointstudio.art. That's the website. You see how I got these pieces here? I'm telling y'all, you can do it. All you need is a map. The same way that I did this is the same way that you could do it, you know? So I have DIY kits on there. So if you have something in your head, like if you do want to go do Jay-Z, that's why people will come up, oh, that's crazy, you should do Obama. No, you should do Obama. Right. You know what I'm saying?
You can do this.
Yeah, so you can do it. Check me out on Instagram, chris.pinpoint.art. And again, pinpointstudio.art to get your DIY kits. But we also do commissions on there. But yeah, thank you so much for having me, brother.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, no doubt. All right, well, this has been another episode of Devyn Zoolander Show. So here's what happens. I usually say